trademark of their play in recent weeks and months. They just are likely to concede soft goals, and that was certainly one of them. And Colin Whelan that got in, and he made no mistake, the UCD number 10. So 1-0 to the students. A really disappointing goal to concede from Drogheda United's perspective, because it really was avoidable. So 1-0 to UCD. And Drogheda United really, as I said, shooting themselves in the foot here, but they're going to have to get back into it. It's just been something that's been happening them in recent weeks. They went behind against Cabinteely. Of course, they came back to win that game, but went behind early, and they've done it again tonight. And it's something that they can't really afford to keep on doing, because it's going to come a time where they don't get back into a game. And as I'm sure Tim Clancy would say, like, you don't mind losing goals that are well created, but that was just a giveaway. But in any case, they're going to have to get back into it. Here come UCD again. Mark Dignam with possession. James Brown wins it back, but he's been dispossessed, and that's a lovely bit of play from Liam Kerrigan. Fancy footwork from him. A few drag backs, and gets himself a free kick. And again, Tim Clancy was having a quick word with James Brown. And here's a free kick. It's going to be Ozam to take it. Knocks it long. And it's headed clear. And it's Adiemo that has it, but he's been dispossessed. Drogheda just struggling to get a little bit of continuity going in the attack. They had that one little bit of a nice bit of interplay a few moments ago when Adiemo just crept offside, but they haven't really put a whole lot together just yet in this game. But plenty of time to go, of course. But not the greatest of starts. Whelan's goal in 18 minutes, giving the students a 1-0 lead. Just about 20 minutes gone here at the UCD Bowl. And Drogheda United just looking to get into their rhythm a little bit here. Really is a situation at the stage of the season where every point and every goal counts. Adiemo comes short for that one, gets under it a little bit, and it's been knocked back towards Lorcan Healy. And he has Harry McAvoy beside him, and he uses McAvoy. And it's back to the goalkeeper again, played across here towards Ozam. Again, James Clark closes him down. He gets it down the line towards Yo-Yo Maddy. Good header from Hughie Douglas. Comes back to Jack Keeney in midfield. UCD skipper, and it's the Drogheda skipper now, Jake Hyland, who has it. He's been harassed by Doyle, but manages to get his ball away towards James Brown, and his attempt at control just got away from him, and it was cleared, and it's come off Doyle for a throw in to Drogheda United just inside the UCD half. 1-0 to UCD if you've just joined us, with 20 minutes gone. And it's UCD closing down over on that far side of the field. Mark Doyle has it now. His touch just gets away from him, but he wins it back. Doyle looks for a pass, and it's Conor Kane setting off on a run down that left-hand side, but it was headed back by Michael Gallagher, and now it's intercepted in midfield by Doyle again. He certainly isn't showing any ill effects from that injury he suffered a little bit earlier on. Now here's Kerrigan, busy presence here on this left-hand side, full of tricks. And it's a lovely ball through the centre, and the flag went up. It was Jack Keeney that crept through the middle into the gap, but he had just gone a little bit too early again, so flag went up. And it's a free kick to Drogheda United. David Olamosu to take it. 21 minutes gone, almost 22. 1-0 to UCD. Not the start that Drogheda would have wanted, as I said, and again, repeating myself slightly, but just such a soft goal to concede. 0-0 in all the other games in the division so far this evening, incidentally. Only goal of the night coming here. Throw in down in the far corner of the field. Ozam will take it. And I hear Tim Clancy saying that there's going to be it's a 3-4-3. And he's just telling Derek Prendergast to pass on the instruction. Going to go 3-4-3. He wants James Brown on the right-hand side and Mark Doyle on the far side. Jake Hyland, meanwhile, has a free kick for Drogheda United. And a chance for Prendergast to get forward here. Drogheda United could really do with getting an equaliser quickly. Right of a 4, Tim Clancy says to James Brown. And Hyland, well, he had a go at the near post, trying to do a Gary McAllister on it, if you like, from the opposite side of the field. The Scot, a famous goal against Everton many years ago. And it was an attempt at that from Hyland, but he didn't catch it really. Just duffed it a little bit and went harmlessly wide of the near post, so nothing for Lorcan Healy to worry about in the UCD goal. And we have 23 minutes gone. 1-0 to UCD. Goal kick taken, a very high one up into the darkness and drops back down. Richie O'Farrell takes up possession and he gets it back. O'Farrell, Jordan Adeyemo over to Conor Kane, and it's Mark Doyle now, I think, with the ball over on the far side, trying to create something. And again, Drogheda United just not able to create quite the opening they would want. And it's back all the way to David Odumosu again. And again, it's UCD getting it back, and it's a lovely bit of play from Kerrigan. Slips it to Doyle down this left-hand side, over towards Maddy, the danger man. And it's Conor Kane covering around well. And again, UCD picking up possession. Harry McAvoy gets it. It's blocked out by Mark Doyle. And it's going to be a throw in on the far side of the field to the students. Perfect evening for football, as I said a little bit earlier on. Not a puff of breeze in the air. Very dry. It was a beautiful day, of course, in Dublin, as it was in most of the country. So perfect conditions for football tonight, and the pitch really immaculate. So can't have any complaints about that from either side. Now here come Drogheda United again, as I said, gone to a 3 at the back. It's a very ambitious looking ball from Mark Hughes. It was intercepted. And James Clark has been fouled, takes it very quickly to James Brown. Adeyemo makes the run, but Clark decides, or Brown decides to turn back inside, and he gives it to Hyland back to Prendergast. And it seems to be Prendergast, Douglas and Mark Hughes that are the back 3 at the moment, and 2 fullbacks nominally have pushed right on. And here's Jordan Adeyemo inside the box, gets the turn, gets the shot. Narrowly wide of the far post, but the first real kind of chance that Drogheda have created. They had that free kick early in the game that Jake Hyland narrowly missed the target with, but that's the first bit of creativity that they've come up with from open play. And it's narrowly wide from Adeyemo, but that will give them a little bit more encouragement, the visitors tonight. So a goal kick to UCD, be taken by Lorcan Healy. Knocks it long, again. Maddy jumps for it, but he's beaten in the air by Derek Prendergast. I don't think Maddy is going to win too many of those aerial battles with the big draw to centre back. He has it again though, Maddy. Gets away from Mark Hughes, plays the ball out to the right hand side. Richie O'Farrell goes up and, well, he wins the free kick. The former UCD man, of course, O'Farrell, joined Drogheda from the students. So he'll be very familiar with his surroundings tonight. And now it's a free kick to David Odumosu. A bit of encouragement again from Tim Clancy for his captain, Jake Hyland. Odumosu steps up, knocks a long ball towards James Clark. Skipped off the surface for a moment there. I thought it was going to go beyond Eben Ozam and that maybe Clark would get in onto it, but it's knocked long, and Prendergast, he just mishits his clearance, and fortunately for him, the goal scorer Colin Whelan wasn't able to control it, and he was helped out then, Prendergast, by his centre-back partner, Hughie Douglas. So again, a little bit of nervousness at the back for Drogheda, as has been the case at different occasions during the season, and it's cost them dearly tonight. Now, here's Prendergast again. Long diagonal ball towards James Brown. It's well taken, well, almost well taken by Brown. Just skipped away from him a little bit and he couldn't take it back down, but he's gotten away again. He's approaching the edge of the box, plays the ball into Adeyemo, and he turned to get a shot away, lays it back to Mark Doyle. Doyle goes across towards the edge of the box, crosses it in. He was just working his way away from goal and managed to turn and dig out across Doyle, which was difficult skill to pull off in those circumstances, but he just floated it up into the air, and it was Lorcan Healy in bright orange in the UCD goal who was able to gather it in. Now it's over on the far side of the field again with UCD in possession. It's back inside to Doyle, a lovely little ball around the corner to Keeney, and his attempt to pass to Kerrigan was intercepted by Hyland again. It's played into Adeyemo, takes it in. Is he going to have a go? No, it popped up for him to hit, but he decided to hold on to it, and he's been just outnumbered there by Keeney and a couple of other UCD players. Harry McAvoy and Josh Collins were close to Adeyemo as well. A big draw at a striker, who, as I said, came off the bench last week to good effect to get that goal against Longford. Earns a starting position tonight with Chris Lyons carrying in knock, we believe. A little bit of a wild kick there from Doyle on Richie O'Farrell, and the referee says that's a free kick. And O'Farrell, the number 10, as I said, the former UCD man, winning the free kick, and it's going to be Jake Hyland to take it. And we have just under 29 minutes gone at the Belfield Bowl, or the UCD Bowl I should say. Free kick to Drogheda United. Hyland takes it, drops it in around the penalty spot, and Mark Doyle, well, it's gone narrowly wide. Well, that was a really extraordinary couple of seconds. It was Hyland's free kick. It dropped in around the penalty spot. Mark Doyle was there along with, I think, Derek Prendergast, completely unmarked, both of them. Doyle tried to help it on, didn't seem to get much of a contact on it, but it somehow just managed to slip by the post. Lorcan Healy was looking a little stranded, but UCD lived to fight another day on that one, because it's a really good opportunity, and I was half expecting a flag to go up there, but there was nothing wrong with it, and it was a really good chance for Drogheda, but they weren't able to convert. But still, again, it's a little bit of encouragement for them. They've gotten back into their stride a little bit after that 18th minute setback, and here they come again. James Brown, and as we said, they've gone with a slightly more attacking formation since conceding that goal, a 3-4-3. Prendergast, Douglas and Mark Hughes across the back. And we've got James Brown, Jake Hyland, Richie O'Farrell and Conor Kane as the forward midfield, and then Mark Doyle, Adeyemo and Clark as the front three. So certainly throwing a little bit of caution to the wind, Drogheda United. I'm not sure if Tim Clancy would have identified this as a must-win game, but it's probably a must-not-lose. And he's not too happy with how long Lorcan Healy is taking here, the UCD keeper, but I'm sure if Drogheda were leading 1-0, he'd be encouraging Adeyemo to do the same thing. Here comes Jake Hyland, knocks a long diagonal ball over towards Mark Doyle on that far side of the field. It's well headed clear by Harry McAvoy, and it's back again with Mark Hughes. He knocks a lovely ball in towards Conor Kane, and he finds Richie O'Farrell. Spins away from Paul Doyle, and now it's Mark Doyle on the edge of the box. He's going to have a shot. It's deflected, and it's gone out for a corner kick. It was Josh Collins that got the block on it, and it's a corner to Drogheda United, which Hyland, I'm sure, will take. As we tick past the half-hour mark here at the UCD Bowl, 1-0 to the home side. That goal on 18 minutes from Colin Whelan, I should say. And here comes Hyland with the corner. Drogheda will be desperate to get back into this before half-time. Hyland's corner dropping in, and it was Derek Prendergast who was going for it, but he couldn't get there. It was well headed clear, and then Yo-Yo Maddy decides that it's a safety first option and boots it down the field. And it's gone out for a throw in, which will be taken by Conor Kane over on the far side of the field in front of the main stand here at UCD. A few bodies scattered around the stand there. Of course, no spectators allowed in, but there are a few officials and whatnot over on the far side of the field. Doyle gets his head to that throw in, and it's Maddy now that has it. And again, Kerrigan has such a burst of speed off the mark there from a standing start. Pushed it a little bit too far ahead of himself to get onto it. And it's back with Adeyemo. I can tell you that Galway United have taken the lead against Wexford. 22 minutes to go came on there. 1-0 to the home side. Now here come Drogheda United trying to get an equaliser before half-time. Ball in towards Adeyemo, as well intercepted, but it's broken back to James Clark. Is that a penalty? The referee says no, and it certainly looked like a clumsy challenge. But To be fair to the Drogheda players, the shout came from the bench here, but there wasn't too much of an appeal from Clark. And in fairness to Tim Clancy, he wasn't making too much of it either. There was an initial shout, but it didn't seem like there was a huge amount of conviction behind it, so it's still 1-0 to UCD, and it's certainly the sort of break Drogheda United could do it. Did miss that penalty against Cove Ramblers a few weeks ago. Chris Lyons missing, having scored one against Galway United, but missed from the spot against Cove, and that proved costly when they lost that game 1-0, but I don't think they would have minded too much if they'd been awarded a penalty tonight, regardless of who took it. Lyons, of course, not involved tonight, he's out injured. Would have been Jake Hyland possibly, but didn't come to anything, so we'll have to wait and see. If they do get a penalty in Lyons' absence, who will take it? Free kick over on the far side of the field to UCD. It's a high one over towards the far post from their perspective, and it's Mark Dignam with the header safely into the hands of Adamosu. And he drives a long, low ball. And now the game was in behind. Can he get there before the keeper? He could, but the keeper saved it well there. Healy, he was just on the edge of his box, I think. Healy didn't want to risk trying to catch it. It seemed to come off his shoulder. It broke back out to Mark Doyle, and it's thrown back into the box again. Hyland comes around to the back post, cuts it back, and it's into the hands of Lorcan Healy. Well, I mentioned a little bit earlier on that I thought Adeyemo was almost going to get in behind on a ball that just skipped off the grass, and that's exactly what happened there. He was reading it. He got in behind, just got his toe to it ahead of the goalkeeper, but it came off Healy. I think it was more of an instinctive reaction from the keeper than anything else. He was so close to the ball. Managed to just hit him on the top of his arm or shoulder, and again UCD escape without conceding. But Drogheda will certainly be more encouraged by what's gone on in the last 10 minutes or so since they've gone behind. They've definitely been more of a threat, and Richie O'Farrell just tried to slip the ball through to Adeyemo, and unfortunately his wires crossed and was harmlessly through to the keeper. So still 1-0 to UCD. We've just over 10 minutes, or just about 10 minutes to go now in the first half, normal time. There will be a stoppage, there will be some stoppage time for that injury to Paul Doyle, but probably only about 2 minutes or so. And James Brown has to throw in as Drogheda United again try and get back into it before the break. And a high foot there from James Brown, possibly. No, the referee says play on. Now there are options for Drogheda on the bench should they need to make some attacking alterations. Stephen Meany, Adam Wickstead and Brandon Birmingham are all players who could come on and change things from an attacking perspective, so it'll be interesting to see if Tim Clancy makes any changes at the break. In fairness, things have been more positive than they probably were in the first half last week when he made 2 changes at half time, and of course, as I said, one of those paid off almost immediately when Adeyemo scored 6 minutes into the second half. But I would imagine Tim has been pretty happy with what he's seen in the first half by and large, apart from that goal I said, which was a bit of a soft one to concede, but have looked much better since they went behind. But here come UCD again. They always look threatening when they get forward, and the referee's given a free kick, which again was possibly a little bit on the soft side, but the referee decided it was a foul, and now we have a dangerous position for Drogheda United to defend. Free kick on the edge of the box, just about 5 yards outside the D, very central. And it's, well, there's a few players standing over it. And again, Tim Clancy not happy with the time that's being wasted by UCD. And he's talking to the fourth official here, but they're not really buying into it too much. Lorcan Healy was the one retrieving the ball, and he was certainly taking his time. Joseph Mahdi is going to take the free kick. Yo-Yo Mahdi, the man who's been in good form of late. He whips it around the wall, but high and over. So safety for Drogheda from that one. And it's going to be a goal kick. And again, every time the ball goes dead behind that goal or down that end, it seems to disappear behind, over the fence and into the trees. There's no netting or anything behind the goal down there, so someone's going to have to go and get it. Takes me back to my youth, fishing footballs out of ditches and various grounds around the county. Long kick out from Adamosu. It's flicked on by Connor Kane, I think it was, over on the far side, or possibly it was Mark Doyle, in fact. Looked like he was pushed in the back, but the referee was happy to let play go on, and it's gone out for throw-in to UCD. Still 1-0 to the home side. A goal on 18 minutes from Colin Whelan. 37 minutes gone in the first half. Adiemo being encouraged to chase down and block down the defender's clearance, but he just couldn't get there in time. It's knocked long, and it's broken back, and it's well dealt with there by Richie O'Farrell. Very quickly in, plays it to Hughie Douglas. James Brown back in a more conventional right back position for the time being, just for a moment. James Clark tries to slip it back inside to him, but he's won it back, Clark. He lost it momentarily, but he's been, he did very well there, Clark. He managed to hold on to possession, tried to play a little 1-2 with Brown again. But that was good, determined play from Clark, because he looked like he lost possession once or twice there, but he managed to stick a foot in and get it back. Now it's back to Richie O'Farrell, throw in from Brown. Just about 10 yards in from the touchline, and his pass back to Brown was a little bit off target, and it's gone out for throw in to UCD. And again, Drogheda just probing for this equalizer. Haven't been able to break a deadlock just yet. Still trailing by that goal to nil. James Brown gets his head to that one just on the halfway line. O'Farrell comes in to take it up and plays it back to Mark Hughes, the centre of the back three at the minute. Hughes. Now here's Jake Hyland over towards Mark Doyle on the far side of the field. Could Drogheda get back into this before half time? How they would love an equaliser. Here's Doyle inside the box, cutting in from the left hand side, cuts it back. It's gone up in the air, and it's broken back to Richie O'Farrell on the edge of the box. He decided to, well, he looked like he was going to hit it, but then I think he may have left it on purpose. It was hard to tell whether he was having a swing at that one. I think he did leave it, to be fair to him, and recycled it. It's come back into the box again from Connor Kane. Adiemo just isn't able to get across the front post to get his head to it, but again, it was a promising opening for Drogheda United. Mark Doyle getting inside the box, getting his cut back in, but UCD managed to scramble it away, and we're into the last 5 minutes of normal time in the first half. 1-0 to the home side, and it's still 1-0 to Galway United in Eamon DC Park. And it's throw in over on the far side. In fact, it's knocked along by Healy in goals for UCD, and it's come back to Josh Collins, and his first time ball goes all the way through to Odamosu. Rolls it out to Hughie Douglas. Drogheda again come in search of this equaliser before the break. Long ball down towards Adiemo. He takes it in. James Brown just about managed to keep it in play and knocks it into the box. And again, Drogheda's, they're huffing and puffing, but they just haven't managed to get that equaliser. But they've certainly, as I said, been more in the game since they went behind than they were before that. The referee gives a free kick over on the far side of the field, and again, Drogheda aren't happy with that one. They feel that was a little bit soft. Keeney takes it quickly, plays it back to Doyle, across to Ozam here. And again, UCD probing for an opening as we approach the half-time whistle here at the UCD Bowl. Doyle gets it back, Mark Dignam whips it in, but it's well dealt with over there by Mark Hughes, who got his boot to that. Here's Ozam again. Plays a lovely little ball in. Kerrigan, or rather to the goal scorer, Whelan this time. And he just was dispossessed, and Jake Hyland managed to tidy things up there and knock it back towards Derek Prendergast again. Drogheda knock it up towards Adiemo. He's beaten to it, but it comes back, and the referee gives a free kick to Richie O'Farrell. Jumping up for possession there with Jack Keeney, and the referee said it was pushing the back by the Drogheda number 10. Again, Tim Clancy not happy with that decision. Now, we have 3 minutes of normal time to go in the first half, and it's going to be a free kick for UCD. They're not going to be in any hurry to take this as we approach the half-time break. Ozam has it. Again, looking for a runner. Maddie's over on the far side of the box. He's just hanging back behind Mark Hughes, looking to get on the shoulder of the Drogheda midfielder. I say midfielder, but he spent much of his first half in the back three. Here's Whelan again, such a tricky man when he gets inside the box. Very quick feet. But it's Douglas, and Douglas knocks it long, but again Adiemo just not able to get on the end of it. It was pretty hurried clearance from Douglas, and in fairness to Adeyemo, he didn't have any support, so it'll be hard for him to chase that one down. And again, Jake Hyland gets onto it in midfield. He's broken up the play nicely at times in his first half, Hyland, and just got caught a little bit for the goal. But other than that, it hasn't been a bad performance from Drogheda United, but they just, again, are paying the price for being a little bit slack at the back and getting caught in possession in a dangerous area of the field, and all of a sudden you're exposed. And again, it's happened. Richie O'Farrell's been caught out this time, and again it was no straight balls is the call from Tim Clancy. It was a ball straight into Richie O'Farrell, so he's getting it with his back to his the attacking goal, and you can't really see what's coming behind him. He just gets caught in possession. That's very similar to what happened with the goal. Jake Hyland got caught. And it's going to be a corner to UCD, and this would be a really devastating blow for Drogheda United were they to concede from this. And again, it's a problem of their own making. Whipped in to the back post, and it's somehow headed over by Maddie. I think it must have been cleared off the line, because Maddie looked like he had an open goal. And it must have been one of the Drogheda players that got his head to it, because it's gone out for a corner again. From here it looked like Maddie had just headed it straight over from point blank range, but clearly that's not what happened. It's a corner. And we're into the last minute of the first half here at the UCD Bowl. 1-0 to the home side. Colin Whelan's goal on 18 minutes. The difference between the two sides at the moment. Corner comes in. It's just Odamosu just got a hand to it. It was a dangerous ball in. And it's gone out for another corner to UCD on the near side. And again, Drogheda just living a little bit dangerously here as we approach the half-time whistle. Played short this time, and it's dinked in towards the back post again, and this time I think it was Doyle over on the far side of the field who came in at the back post, didn't catch his volley right at all. And Tim Clancy is just doing some running repairs on his defence from set pieces. He's trying to tell James Brown for one to pick up, and he's just giving a couple of more specific instructions to some of his defenders for certain players to mark and for certain players to try and cover space. Now here's James Clark as Drogheda United try and push for the equaliser, and again Clark's pass just a little bit overhit for Adeyemo. And Adeyemo, after coming off the bench last week to score, he really hasn't had a sniff tonight. He's had a few half chances, but service to him just hasn't been on the button. It's been close at certain points, a few little through balls that were just a little bit overhit, but he'll keep making those runs and he'll hope to get on the end of one of them. He got on the end of that great pass from James Brown last week and finished it off clinically. And with that goes the half-time whistle here at the UCD Bowl. It's been a spluttering enough performance from Drogheda United in the first half. They conceded that goal, which again, as I said, not if you were on for when the goal went in, but it was a really sloppy one to concede from Drogheda's point of view. And since then they've been trying to break back into the game and get the equaliser. Haven't had too many really great chances. It was a half chance for Jordan Adeyemo when the ball skipped off the grass over the centre back's head and he got his toe to it, but the keeper came out and managed to get a block on it. But other than that, they haven't really created any clear-cut chances. Gotten a few crosses into the box, but haven't managed to convert them. They are missing Chris Lyons, of course, tonight, in case you're late joining us. He's out of the squad tonight with an injury, so it's Jordan Adeyemo leading the line. But Drogheda United, as yet, haven't managed to get back into the game. But as we saw last week, they came back into it right at the beginning of the second half. Will Tim Clancy make any changes at half-time? We'll have to wait and see. I would guess not. I think he'd be relatively happy with what he's seen, but he does have options on the bench, as I said a little bit earlier on. Adam Wickstead, Stephen Meany and Brandon Birmingham, I suppose, chief among them from an attacking point of view. But that's the story here at half-time at the UCD Bowl. It's 1-0 to UCD. That goal from Colin Whelan on 18 minutes, the difference between the sides. The only other game in the First Division with a goal at the moment is the game between Galway United and Wexford, where Galway lead by a goal to nil. So Bray Wanderers, the table toppers, are being held by Longford Town, who of course themselves are well in the mix for promotion. So just those 2 goals in the division, the 1 goal here for UCD and the 1 for Galway United over in Eamon DC Park. So that's it, 1-0 to UCD here at half time. We'll be back with the second half in around about 15 minutes time or so.
Briscoe's Megastore Drogheda.
I always say I'll go anywhere provided it's forward, and this time we have to go on from here. They had a dream, and that dream has come true tonight.
Briscoe's Megastore, Drogheda.
Yes, you're welcome back to the UCD Bowl for the second half of this first division game between the hosts UCD and Drogheda United, their visitors tonight. The home side lead by 1-0. That goal from Colin Whelan on 17 minutes, the difference between the sides, and really it was a very soft one to concede from Drogheda's point of view, very soft, and just got caught in possession. It's something that Tim Clancy was barking instruction to his players, because they got caught later on in the half as well when Richie O'Farrell picking up a very straight pass into him just about halfway inside his own half, and it's one of those balls where you're very square on to your own goal and you don't really have any sort of peripheral vision about what's around you. So I think Tim Clancy wants to see more slightly diagonal balls played out of defence where players are on the half turn and they can see what's in front of them. But that was pretty much what happened for the first goal. I think it was Jake Hyland who got caught in possession, and all of a sudden things opened up and Colin Whelan was in and he finished it very well past David Adamosu. But second half just about to get underway. I don't think there have been any changes. I said I didn't think Tim Clancy would make any changes just yet, because the first half hadn't been too bad from Drogheda's point of view. They had moves together, just weren't able to get that elusive equalising goal. And we're just about to get underway. Started the second half. Alan Patchell, the man in charge tonight, made some decisions in the first half that the Drogheda management weren't too happy about, some slightly soft free kicks, but it's been a fairly free-flowing game. Nothing too meaty for the referee to get his teeth into or to get his cards out for. We're underway again in the second half as Drogheda United seek to keep themselves right in the promotion mix. Of course, the defeat tonight won't do their chances in for good, but it certainly won't be ideal to lose tonight. A draw would be of certain value, but if they could get the win, that would be such a boost, especially coming from behind. But that's going to be a tall enough order as things stand. 1-0 down. Second half just underway. Here comes Mark Doyle, trying to win it back on the edge of the box, but it's possessed, and again UCD come away with it and they've knocked it long down the line. Derek Prendergast on the turn, trying to get it back to Adamosu, and gets his head to it and knocks it back. Just slightly nervous moments when those balls are knocked through the middle, because any kind of a misconnection or miscontact with the ball, and you could find yourself in a lot of trouble, especially with somebody like Yusuf Mahdi lurking over your shoulder. The man who has been in great form of late, 5 goals in the last 3 league games, hat-trick in that 8-0 win over Wexford, and 2 goals last weekend against Cove. Now here come UCD then the left hand side. Mahdi now in possession, lays it back, and it's Jack Keeney who has it. He plays it over to Kerrigan. He's been a lively presence in this UCD attacking. There's a chance for the goal scorer. Whelan gets away for a moment and he just shoots just past the far post again. Quite a tense moment in the Drogheda defence, but Whelan just not able to dig it out. And I think we must be close to running out of footballs at this stage, because that's another one that's been thrown in from the sideline. And it's a goal kick to UCD. And the fourth official calling for another ball. And the bag that was once full of balls is now empty. And it's a long kick out. And Adiemo was beaten in the air by Jack Keeney. James Brown manages to get it. And it's flicked on by Clark, and Adiemo is through. Can he get on the end of it? No, he's well covered off there by Harry McAvoy. Just for a moment it looked like Adiemo was getting on the end of that. Getting on the end of it. Brown again has it, though. Busy play from him down the right hand side. Gets it back to Mark Doyle. His shot is in the corner. It's in the net. It's an equaliser for Drogheda United right at the start of the second half. 2.5 minutes gone, and again, as it was last week, James Brown with the assist cuts it back, and Mark Doyle, his 7th goal of the season, Drogheda United's top scorer, coming in as he often does, just pulling back to the penalty spot and getting the volley away. Bounced into the ground and beyond Lorcan Healy. 1-1 at the UCD Bowl. What a start to the second half for Drogheda United. They got off to a good start at the second half last week, but they've gotten an even earlier boost this time around. And it's a dream start to the second half for Drogheda. Now here they come again. Conor Kane is off. Their tails are up now, the visitors. Kane gets the cross in. Adiemo was on the penalty spot with the header. Just misses it, but it's brought back to James Clark. And his volley, half volley, just over the bar. Well, what a start to this second half for Drogheda United. And, well, Tim Clancy and Kevin Doherty really pumped up on the sideline. And again, really good play down the left-hand side from Conor Kane. And a perfect start to the second half for Drogheda United. 1-1 here now at the UCD Bowl. Mark Doyle with that equaliser, and they've really gotten the bit between their teeth now, Drogheda. Here's James Clark again, a little tricky run from him. And it's come back again to Jake Hyland, who was just played it back towards Richie O'Farrell, and he was just outrun, but it's brought back to Clark again, and he's knocked it over the top towards Mark Doyle down this left-hand side, down in the corner, plays it back to Conor Kane, gets around his man inside the box. There's a loose challenge there, and it's deflected out for a corner kick. There was a leg hung out there by one of the UCD defenders, and for a moment, I wonder what would have happened if Conor Kane had gone down. It would have been a decision for the referee to make, but in any event, it's gone out for a corner kick to Drogheda United, and they really have started this second half like a train. Really must have gotten a rocket at half time, but they've been so much better at the start of the second half. That equaliser, a huge boost as well. And here comes the corner. Hyland takes it short. Conor Kane comes for it, got that left foot on him and tries to dig it out, and it's blocked. And it's come away, and it's a handball there, I think, from Jake Hyland. Well, the referee's given the throw in. It came off Hyland's outstretched elbow, but the referee said throw in, and there's an injury to a UCD player in the box. So 1-1 here at the UCD Bowl. The perfect start to the second half for Drogheda United. Mark Doyle, as I said, his 7th goal of the season, top scorer for the visitors. And it's Chris Lyons next on 4, and then 3 from Stephen Meany, who's on the bench tonight. And then we've got Brandon Birmingham, Jake Hyland at Adiemo, and the now retired, of course, Sean Brennan with 2 goals each to their name. And I think it's Paul Doyle who's coming across. He was the one who had that knock in the first half. Excuse me. So he's coming off now, Doyle. He, as I said, he had that little bit of a bang in the first half, got some attention, and he's now looks like coming off permanently, and it's going to be Evan Farrell to come on, number 23. And high fives Tim Clancy on the way past, but the two exchanged some less than friendly words. So Doyle's evening is over, and it's Drogheda United trying to maintain the upper hand here, and it's through the middle for Adiemo, takes it down in his chest, and well, the referee says, well, I thought he'd given a handball for a moment, but actually the flag had gone up on the far side. Offside again, Adiemo. He's been caught offside a few times tonight, the big striker. But if he keeps making those runs, he may well get his chance. The goal he got last week, he just pulled away off the last defender, and that's where you have to be as a striker. It's flicked on there by Maddie, and it's through for Whelan, but even at his pace, he wasn't able to keep it in. And pace is something he certainly has plenty of, the UCD number 10. And it's just 7 minutes gone in the second half, and Drogheda United will be delighted with the start they made to this second period. Adamosu's kick out over towards us here on the near side, and Richie O'Farrell gets a flick on it, but it's come all the way through to Derek Prendergast. He plays it into centre midfield. James Clark skips away from one man, plays the ball down the left hand side, and Mark Doyle just wasn't able to nick it past his man. James Clark has had a really positive start to this second half. He's gotten him plenty of ball and very much at the centre of the best creative play from Drogheda United. Richie O'Farrell takes the throw in off Conor Kane, knocks it back to the left back, but just a little bit loose there, Kane, and here comes Kerrigan again. He's got such pace, Kerrigan, and he's a little bit late there on Jake Hyland, but I don't think there was any, again, malice in it. Hyland chasing back well and closing down his man. And the referee is just having a quick word with him. That's it now, no more, the referee says. So that's the last warning for Liam Kerrigan. One of the advantages of not having crowds at matches, you can hear quite a lot more than you would normally hear. So the referee's giving Kerrigan his final warning. Again, I don't think there was a whole lot in that tackle, and Hyland didn't make anything of it, but the referee's decided that he needed to lay down the law. So any more fouls from Kerrigan, you can expect to see a yellow card. Meanwhile, over on the far side of the field, James Brown has it, knocks it back, and it's Jake Hyland that plays it through the middle. Adiemo, was he offside? No. Can he take on his man? He can get the shot away. It's deflected, and it's just dipped over the bar. Great play from Adiemo there. Threw a lovely little shimmy, got the ball onto his right boot, and in fairness to was Josh Collins, he managed to stick to his task and stick out a leg. And just for a moment, I thought it might spin over the keeper's head, but it dipped over the bar. So a corner kick to Drogheda over on the far side of the field. It's going to be Jake Hyland to take it. And certainly a much happier Tim Clancy down on the sideline here in front of us. Now, will he be given something more to smile about here? Here's Jake Hyland's corner. Whips it into the near post. It's, well, looked to be a bit of a push there. It was a lot of arms went up in the air from both sets of players. It was a shout for a push in the back on, I think, Derek Prendergast. And both sets of players turned it around to the ref to appeal. I'm not quite sure what they were all appealing for. Drogheda were certainly looking for a penalty. UCD maybe looking for a free out, but the referee gave another corner, and it's Richie O'Farrell who manages to keep the ball in. Well, he doesn't, in fact, over on the far side. I thought he managed to keep it in, but just ran away from him as he tried to control it. And here come UCD again. 1-1 here at the UCD Bowl with 10 minutes gone in the second half. You're listening to live coverage of this SSE Airtricity League First Division match on lmfm.ie and the LMFM app. And Drogheda United certainly having conceded what was definitely a softish goal from their point of view in the first half, starting the second half very, very well. And James Brown, once again, as he did last week, creating the equaliser. They're such an important set of players, those two fullbacks, James Brown and Conor Kane, for Drogheda. Now here comes Colin Whelan, dispossessed by Prendergast, and Mark Doyle has it. And Conor Kane is away, and he's gotten away from Harry McAvoy, and he's into the box. Conor Kane, can he cut it back and find a man? Well, it was just behind Adiemo, and it was, I think, James Clark who was coming in on it. In fact, it was Richie O'Farrell, but it was just a little bit beyond him as well, and UCD get it away. But here's Mark Hughes as Drogheda try and turn the screw and get this, what would be crucial second goal. Bray Wanderers have taken the lead against Longford Town, I can tell you as well, so that's a big goal in their bid for promotion. Here's Adiemo. Trying to shake off his man, gets inside the box, gets away from him, and gets past another man. Brilliant from Adiemo. Can he get a shot off? It's cut back to Doyle again, and it's in! Would you believe it? 2-1 to Drogheda United. They've turned it around here with just 11 and a half minutes gone in the second half. Absolutely brilliant from Jordan Adiemo. Must have gotten past 2 or 3 men. Tried to get a shot off, didn't quite. Came back, and Mark Doyle once again just hanging back around there on the penalty spot. And rolls into the corner. 2-1 to Drogheda United. 12 minutes gone in the second half. 2 early second half goals from Mark Doyle. And it's 2-1 to the visitors. Who would have thought it at half time? I said it would be a big ask for them to turn this one around. And really with 1 goal, it wasn't a huge amount to overcome, but they haven't created a whole lot in the first half in terms of clear-cut chances, but started the second half. 2 great opportunities, and they finished both of them off, and they actually, when you look at that Adiemo chance that skewed off the defender and went over the bar, they've had a few more chances as well, so they've been so much better at the start of the second half, Drogheda, and they're really at it now. But here come UCD. Maddie, well intercepted there by Hughie Douglas, and Yo-Yo Maddie hasn't really had a kick this evening. Such a dangerous player, and there's Adiemo again chasing it down. And it's thrown over on the far side of the field. And Tim Clancy having a little bit of a joke with the 4th official. He's complimenting the referee on playing at advantage. Again, it's UCD coming away with it. Adiemo chasing hard. Free kick to UCD. And discipline, shouts Tim Clancy into Jake Hyland. As Drogheda United just, well, I suppose it'll be interesting to see what they do now, because they started the second half so well, but that's the dilemma when you go 2-1 up, having been a goal behind. Maybe a natural inclination to sit back a little bit, but really we saw them going for the jugular against Cabinteely when they had the better of it, and they're looking like they're going to do the same here again. Here's Conor Kane getting through and cutting it back, and it's back to Adiemo, and it was blocked on the line almost by Ozam. In fact, yes, it was Ozam. He just managed to get his body in front of the shot, and that's a great bit of play by James Clark. Brilliant from Clark. Absolutely superb little drag back, and gets the shot off Clark, and it was a good save by Lorcan Healy. But again, Drogheda United have created more chances in the first quarter of an hour of this second half they did in the whole of the first half, and probably the whole of last week's game as well. Not to be too hard on them, but this is certainly the best spell of play I've seen from them in quite a while. Obviously that 5-1 win against Cabinteely was a highlight in terms of scoring goals, but they've really been on their game so much at the start of the second half, so much pace. UCD really struggling to keep in the game at this point in time, but a third goal would be of such value to Drogheda United. Such an important stage of the season, and this truncated season as well. Here's Maddie, knocks a long ball. It's Mark Dignam, he's got Conor Kane for company, and he's no slouch. Kane just put a hand on the back of the UCD man. The referee didn't give the free kick. I thought he might, but just a little bit of a hand in, but nothing worthy of a free kick, the referee decided. And it's going to be a throw in to UCD. 15 minutes gone in the second half, just over. And it's Drogheda United leading here by 2-1. If you've just tuned in, they were trailing by 0-0 at half time. They started the second half so well. 2 goals from Mark Doyle, and they could have had another 1 or 2, but if it wasn't for some last ditch defending from UCD and a good save from Lorcan Healy from James Clark. Again, David Odamosu being encouraged to knock it, and it's come towards Mark Doyle, but well, overhit a little bit from the Drogheda keeper. It's going to be a throw in with Harry McAvoy to take it. Gives it to his captain, Jay Keane. He throws a little dummy, turns away from Jake Hyland. It's a loose enough pass towards Ozam. He manages to just get it clear to this near side of the pitch to Michael Gallagher. He's giving it away to Jake Hyland. Here's Richie O'Farrell, Mark Doyle now. Shakes off Keeney well and gets around Harry McAvoy, it's a good play from Mark Doyle. His confidence really soaring now with those 2 goals. Pulls it back towards the penalty spot, well cleared by UCD. Again, Drogheda really looking threatening when they get in down that left hand side. And it's gone in fact for is it a throw in or a corner? It's Jake Hyland going over to take it, so I would guess a corner. And the stretch quite a bit to see down into this left hand side. It's actually it is a corner in fact, yes, and it's going to be Hyland to take it. And again, Kane comes short from as he did the last time, gets the cross in first time, hangs it up in the air, and a few bodies going for it, but it's punched clear by Healy. And now the break is on, and Kane, well, brilliant from Conor Kane getting back. He was the man who got the cross in, and he managed to get back and put the attacker off his game. And Adamosu's long, well, it looked like a handball there, but the referee says play on. And here's James Clark as Drogheda looked again just slightly, very slightly offline for Adiemo as he made the run across Clark, and if one of those passes sticks, Adiemo will be in behind again, there's no doubt about it. And UCD looked like they'd given it away, but they managed to regain possession, and it's Evan Farrell who tidies things up. And again it's Kerrigan now with possession. Got a good run being made by Michael Gallagher down this near side. Gallagher gives it back to Kerrigan. You've got Hyland beside him, and with the help of Conor Kane again, they come away with it. Kane takes a touch, knocks it down the line. Adiemo again having to chase what was a little bit of a lost cause, but he'll chase those down all day long. And it's knocked down again over towards this near side of the field. Gallagher is still in an advanced position. Slips it inside to Kerrigan. Gets it back, Kerrigan to the substitute Farrell, and the cross comes in. It was half blocked by Jake Hyland, and Derek Prendergast knocks it back towards him, and it's, well, scrappy enough. Bit of defending from Drogheda, but they get away with it. And it's back in the hands of David Adamosu safely from a Drogheda point of view. 2-1 to Drogheda United here if you just tuned in. You're listening to David Sheehan on commentary from the UCD Bowl for LMFM. 1-0 it was to the home side at half time, but a lightning quick start from Drogheda at the start of the second half, and 2 goals from Mark Doyle. The first of which came just 2 minutes into the second half to level things up, and then inside around about the 15-minute mark, start of the second half, he got his second of the evening following brilliant work from Jordan Adiemo. Really was superb stuff from the Drogheda striker. Nipped past 2 or 3 players, and he tried to get a shot away, but it broke back towards Doyle, and he finished it well into the bottom corner. So 2-1 now to Drogheda United. Free kick to UCD with 19 and a half minutes gone in the second half. Alan Patchell gives the free kick, and Tim Clancy gives the instructions to his substitutes to get out and warm up. As I said, there are some attacking options on the bench, which at half time we were looking at more closely than we perhaps are now, given that they've taken the lead. But Adam Wickstead is there, Steve Amini, Brandon Birmingham. So plenty of options for Tim Clancy should he need to change it, but I would say at this point in time he'll be happy to hold what he has. 2-1 lead, and he's just manoeuvring Jordan Adiemo around a little bit as this free kick is taken, and it's harmlessly over the bar. I think it was Mark Dignam coming in on it and headed it high and over David Adamosu's crossbar. So what we saw Lorcan Healy doing in the first half, I suspect we'll see David Adamosu do in the second, taking his time, and I suspect Tim Clancy won't be too unhappy with that. So just on the 20-minute mark in the second half, long from Adamosu, Jake Hyland stoops to try and get his head on it, but doesn't come to anything, and it's Derek Prendergast who has to turn and take a swing at this to get it clear, and that's what he does, gets it down, and it's gone out for a throw in to UCD, which will be taken by Harry McAvoy. Takes it quickly. Keeney's pass is intercepted by Conor Kane. He's had a really good second half, and it's rare that he has a poor game, Kane, in fairness to him. Every single week he's just outstanding. Both himself and James Brown every week, always excellent, and it's important from an attacking perspective, and almost more important from an attacking perspective than a defensive one. Now here's Doyle, the man who got those 2 goals. Well, the flag is up on the far side of the field, so it's a free kick to UCD. And it's all the way back to Orkin Healy. He knocks the ball long towards Whelan. Prendergast gets his head to it, comes back to Kerrigan. Again, he's busy. But UCD again, this move breaks down halfway inside the Drogheda United half. And just trying to look at the formation. They were playing a 3-4-3 for much of that first half, Drogheda, but they seem to have gone back to a more conventional setup. Again, maybe keep an eye on that as the second half progresses. Come into Whelan inside the box. The referee, it was a shout for a handball. The referee didn't give it. It's come back here. And it's crossed in. It was a cross from Michael Gallagher. It was headed clear by Derek Prendergast, and it's Jake Hyland and James Clark working hard, and here comes Hyland crossing the halfway line. He's got Mark Doyle making a run on the near side of the pitch, but it was just a little bit heavy with his touch there, and that could be, well, James Clark has gone in with a heavy challenge, and I'm just a little bit concerned as what card the referee might pull out here. He's giving himself a little bit of time, and we'll wait and see. The UCD players hit the deck, and I think the referee is going over to, I thought he might have been going over to have a word with his linesman on the far side. It's a yellow card for James Clark, which I think was probably a fair call. Just it looked maybe worse from this position than it was. He certainly jumped into it a little bit, but I thought he won the ball, but maybe it was just a little bit robust. Again, we're making these calls without the benefits of replays, so I may well watch it back and see that he was fortunate to escape with the yellow, but the referee is given the yellow card, and that's good enough for all of us. And in fairness to it was Evan Ozam, I think, that was on the end of that challenge. He's up, and there wasn't a huge amount of complaint from the UCD players. That's always a bit of a tell. If you see players reacting angrily to a tackle, you always know that they feel it was malicious, but I don't think that was the case with Clark. And in fairness to him, he wouldn't be an overly aggressive player. He's all football, so he gets away with the yellow, and the game is back underway. So it's stolen away from Jack Keeney in midfield by Richie O'Farrell, but it's for a moment it looked like there's going to be a chance for Drogheda, but UCD tidied it up, and we're going to have a double change here. It's going to be Brandon Birmingham and Stephen Meany to come on. And it's a heavy challenge there from Michael Gallagher. The ball was there to be won, but he certainly made sure he let his man know he was there. And again, Drogheda players not happy with that. And the referee's telling the players to move away, the UCD players. He's pulling out a card. And it's a yellow. It's a yellow for Michael Gallagher. And again, we're trying to balance between keeping the commentary going and listening to what the players and officials are saying, because it's very interesting sometimes to hear the conversations that go on, and we're not usually privy to them. Yo-Yo Maddy was having a word with the linesman there. He was saying that the UCD player didn't go to the ground, I think, but it was a very strong challenge from Gallagher. As I say, he did win the ball, but it seemed like it was maybe a little bit unnecessarily strong, but the referee decided it was yellow, and that was it. Jordan Adeyemo has come off, and he's been replaced by Brandon Birmingham. And Adeyemo, I'd say, is just banjaxed because he's run himself so hard, and it's James Clark who's come off as well. So Clark, who picked up a yellow a few moments ago, he's off, and Steve Meany and Brandon Birmingham are in. So change of attacking personnel from Drogheda's point of view. Knocked long by Jake Hyland, free kick, and it's headed clear, but it's come back on the edge of the box to, would you believe it, the substitute has come on, has come back to Mark Doyle. Well, with his first touch, Stephen Meany cracked it against the butt of the post, and what an introduction that would have been. Unbelievable, just broke back to him on the edge of the box, had a shot, got that fifth goal against Cabinteely, laid on, and he almost added to his tally for the season there with what was his first touch. What an introduction that would have been. But back off the post, and UCD breathed a huge sigh of relief, because if that went in, you'd have to fancy Drogheda to close it out. Bray, meanwhile, look like they may have closed it out against Longford. They lead by 2-0 down at the Carlisle grounds. But Drogheda won't care too much about that. Leading by 2-1 here, and a shot comes in. It was Mark Hughes, who doesn't get on the score sheet too often, but had a go there. And it was blocked and cleared, and here come Drogheda United again. They really have had much the better of this second half. After a fairly indifferent first half, you wouldn't say that they were awful by any means in the first period, but they've been so much better in this second half. And they lead by those 2 Mark Doyle goals to 1. Went behind in the first half, remember that Colin Whelan goal, which was really of their own making. But they've bounced back so well in the second half, and they've had much the better of it. They've been by far the better team, and really should be arguably further ahead. They've had more chances than just those 2 that they tucked away, but they won't mind too much about that at St. Stan. Here comes James Brown again. He's trying to get away from his man, but he's well, he lost it momentarily, but he was helped out by Steve Amini, and the cross comes in from Brown, but it's gone over the bar. And again, as I said earlier, every single time a ball goes dead here, a replacement has to be brought in. And again, that one has gone over the back fence. And it's goal kick to Drogheda United, and we have a stoppage for a moment. And the referee's just, well, it's Evan Ozam, who's still not recovered from that challenge by James Clark. I think he might be coming off. Ozam, he is indeed. He's been hobbling ever since that challenge. And Luke Bohr, who started the game last week against Cove and was replaced in the starting lineup tonight by Ozam, well, that change is reversing itself now, because Bohr is coming on for Ozam. And we're going to have another change as well, and it's Adam Verdon coming on too. So Evan Ozam is gone, and so is Terry McAvoy, number 4. So Adam Verdon on, and Luke Bohr. As UCD have 17 minutes or so of normal time to get back into it. And this would be a really big win for Drogheda United, because things are so tight at the top of the table. Ray have now made it 3-0, so all the more important for Drogheda to keep the lead here and to come away from UCD with all 3 points. Over on the far side of the field. And it's going to be a throw in to Drogheda United. And no further changes just at the moment. As I said, double substitution made by Tim Clancy, bringing on Stephen Meany and Brandon Birmingham. Birmingham, who went off at half-time in the game against Cabinteely and didn't feature last weekend, just carrying a little bit of a knock, and he had a weekend off last week and is obviously happily recovered. And you're getting to that stage of the season where injuries are going to start happening. Chris Lyons is out tonight, of course. Just had a little hamstring niggle, and he's been carrying that for a few weeks, he said. I know he was a little bit frustrated by it. But he hasn't been missed too much tonight insofar as you can get away without a player of his calibre, but they've covered it well. Adeyemo was very good this evening, setting up that second goal, and Mark Doyle, of course, with those 2 lethal finishes. I'm sure Chris Lyons will be too happy to see Mark Doyle opening up a little bit of a gap at the top of the scoring charts at Drogheda United, but I'm sure at the same time he doesn't care too much once his team get the win. Now it's a throw in on the far side of the field that James Brown takes, and it's come back towards Richie O'Farrell. His header is a little bit misdirected, and it's gone straight up in the air, and Hughie Douglas comes forward, and every header he makes is 100%. There's no hanging back, puts his head right through it. But UCD have regained possession. Michael Gallagher, the man who picked up that yellow card a few moments ago, sets Kerrigan free down the right hand side, and again Kerrigan comes inside, gets away from Hyland. He was pulled back, but the referee plays on, and now Mark Hughes gets it and knocks one along for Brandon Birmingham to chase. Birmingham has it and just holds on to it and cuts back inside. He'll have benefited from having had that little break last weekend, I'm sure, Birmingham. Mark Doyle brilliantly comes across his man there and shields the ball, and it's back to Birmingham again. He's weaved his way inside the box. Can he get the shot away? It's blocked. It's gone for a corner. Well, that definitely looked like it hit a defender. certainly looked like it took a deflection on the way out. And again, we need a replacement football. And we're down to one being left in the bag again. We're keeping a very close eye on this bag of footballs here in front of us. And it really is remarkable that we have that situation every time the ball goes dead. But in any case, Drogheda United won't be too sorry to see a few seconds eaten up. Here's Mark Doyle. Lovely bit of play from Doyle. And, well, he certainly engineered the free kick. Just stuck his leg out in front of Jack Keeney. Keeney was a little bit too keen to win back possession. And Doyle knew the challenge was coming in. Put the leg out. And wins the free kick. It's going to be taken by Jake Hyland, and what Drogheda wouldn't give for a third goal here, just to make the last quarter hour or so of this match a little bit more bearable. We've got about 13 minutes of normal time to go, plus whatever the referee adds on, and there will be a little bit of stoppage time at the end of this half. Now here comes Colin Whelan, the goal scorer, and again that's Conor Kane. Brilliant stuff from Kane. Getting back, and Tim Clancy calling for a bit of air on the ball. I think he wants to see a little bit more Route 1 stuff in this second half and a little bit less risk as Drogheda try to see it out. But here come UCD again. They'll be confident themselves of getting back into it. They've been such good goal scoring form of late, as we said. They're the joint top scorers in the division. Drogheda were by far and away the top scorers in the league not that long ago, but UCD are now on 25 goals scored, as are Drogheda. Well, they were before tonight's game, of course. That would have changed now. Drogheda now on 27, UCD on 26. But when you score 6 goals and 8 goals in quick succession, that's certainly going to boost your goal difference. And as we said earlier, this division is so tight that you could probably put a sizable amount of money on goal difference, separating some very important positions at the top of the table as the season comes to a close. Here's a free kick for UCD with 12 minutes of normal time to go. It's whipped in towards the near post, and it's Otamosu comes and gets a fist to it. Really good play from the keeper. And here's Brandon Birmingham now trying to lift the siege. Cuts inside his man and wins the free kick. That's brilliant from Brandon Birmingham. That's exactly what Tim Clancy would have wanted. Birmingham there just taking on his man, winning the free kick. Yellow card for Jack Keeney, which, well, you could argue was a little harsh, but in fairness, I think the referee probably felt it was a cynical challenge, that there was a break on. But that's exactly the sort of pressure relieving play that you want from your players there, taking it out of defence, winning the free kick, and away he goes again. Birmingham getting on the end of that free kick, almost getting on the end of it from Mark Hughes. And it's played inside to Kerrigan, that has it now, and he wins the throw in. UCD, you can certainly sense a bit of urgency in their play now. Back inside to Keeney, and his knocked ball went straight to Jake Hyland, and it's come all the way back to Josh Collins, and it's gone all the way back now to Lorcan Healy. UCD building from the back once again. Haven't really created a whole lot in this second half, but all it takes is one chance, and we saw what happened in the first half when Drogheda just let their guard down. And again, Conor Kane in brilliantly. He's just been outstanding again tonight, and he's away down the line. Pass from Mark Doyle. It's a good challenge from Josh Collins. It was a strong challenge, but it was a fair one, and he got the block on it, and it came off Kane ultimately, and it's gone out for a goal kick. But it's going to be a goal kick to UCD. But Kane is still down injured, and I'm sure he's maybe just taking a breather as much as anything else, because he's been so busy again up and down that line. And it's again Tim Clancy having a word with the fourth official, and it's Michael Gallagher, I think Tim Clancy isn't too happy with, and he's questioning the behaviour of the fullback to fourth official. And now we're going to have another change for Drogheda, and it's going to be Ryan O'Shea. And it's, well, Conor Kane is having to come off, and that would be a massive blow for Drogheda's prospects for the rest of the season. Let's hope it's not serious, but he's really struggling, Kane, to put his right foot on the ground and to put any weight on it. It was just one of those block challenges from Josh Collins when he came across, and Kane was just trying to play the ball forward, so possibly hung out a foot as the challenge came in. And sometimes when you hang out a leg like that limply, you can do a lot of damage, and he looks like he's in pain, but hopefully he can get a bit of ice on that and it won't flare up too much on him. But he would be a huge loss to Drogheda's promotion chances were he to miss any games, let alone just one. And now here come Drogheda United, or sorry, here come UCD, and it's Kerrigan gets it away, and that could be a penalty. He's given a free kick, the referee, I think. He looks like he's given the free kick. It looked from here that it was inside the box, I have to say. And let's just see what the referee's going to do here. I think he's going to come over to his linesman on this near side of the pitch. I have to be honest, from here it looked like a penalty. The referee was very close to it though, and he immediately seemed to point for a free kick. But this is going to be a really important decision. And he's given the penalty, the referee, and that's a really disappointing outcome for Drogheda. They were so much a better side in the second half, and just a dangerous ball up to the edge of the box. And I'm not quite sure who made the challenge. It was difficult to see from here, but it's going to be Yo-Yo Maddy to take the penalty. And David Odumosu on his line. He's been given instructions from the referee that he can move over and back, but he can't come off his line. Maddy's going to take it right-footed, and he's starting his run from behind the ball to the left of it, so you'll often see players whip this one back. So to Odumosu's right. Where's he going to put it, Maddy? It's been saved by Odumosu, would you believe it? It went to the keeper's right. Absolutely brilliant stuff from the Drogheda United keeper. What a save. And how important could that be before now and the end of the season? Absolutely incredible stop. We did say that he might go to the keeper's right. The keeper went the right way. It was to his right, and what a save it was. Absolutely unbelievable stuff. And really, Drogheda have been so much better in this second half, and the better team really in the second half. It would have been a bit of a travesty for them to concede, but they still have to do a bit of defending here. Odumosu comes out again, gets his hand to it, and it was, well, another shout for handball this time from the UCD players. It was knocked back in, and again, hard to see who it came off. I think it might have been Jake Hyland, but it went straight up into the air. And Drogheda United, well, with just over 5 minutes of normal time to go, they missed a penalty themselves a few weeks ago when it was saved in the game against Cove, and they've turned it around this week with a save of their own from David Odumosu, and what a save it was. It was a well struck penalty from Maddy. You could say it was a good height for Odumosu, but really he had to throw himself hard to his right to turn that one away, and they managed to survive the corner. So I'm sure Drogheda United fans watching this one with their hearts in their mouths. What a save from Odumosu. And here come Drogheda again, trying to make this one safe. Birmingham gets the shot off. And we're in for a nervous last 5 minutes here at the UCD Bowl. Drogheda United leading by 2-1. They trailed by 1-0 at half time, but Mark Doyle with 2 goals in the opening 15 minutes of the second half, giving him that 2-1 lead. Brandon Birmingham was almost in behind. The shot comes in, and it's just gone wide. Well, it's all happening here. It was Stephen Meany with the shot. Brandon Birmingham was chasing one down. It was cleared by, I think it was Josh Collins who got it away, but it came back to Meany, and his first time shot just went past the post. There was a roar from one of the Drogheda players. I think he thought it was gone in, but it wasn't. Now here's Whelan as UCD still pressing for this equaliser, and there are a couple of really tricky customers in that UCD attack that if they get the ball anywhere around the edge of the box at all, it could be danger. Now here's Mark Doyle looking for his hat-trick. Well, that's a long hacked attempt at a dispossession there, and it was Evan Farrell who got it, and it's gone out for a corner kick. And we've got another injury to a UCD player. It's Josh Collins, who was forward in that last attack, and he's down and he's in a lot of pain. Looks like maybe is it his hamstring? It's hard to see from here. He's in a lot of pain though. He's got very heavy kind of bicycle shorts on under his own shorts, but it looks like it's maybe his calf. Physio's looking at. And He's just getting a bit of attention here, but Drogheda United leading by 2-1. We have 41 minutes gone in the second half. And this would be a really important 3 points for Drogheda United. As I said, Bray Wanderers are leading Longford Town by 3-0. And that's not just a big result for Bray, but it's a big result for Longford as well in the negative sense of things from their point of view, because it would leave them 6 points adrift of Bray, and Drogheda would move on to 24 points if this game was to stay as it is. They would still be 2 points behind Bray Wanderers. And Josh Collins is making his way off here. He doesn't look too happy, and I don't know if he's going to be coming back on. Well, he looks like he will be, but he's struggling a little bit. They're going to have to make the best of it and get back on there. It's going to be a corner to Drogheda, and to UCD are missing one of their centre backs for this one. Hyland whips it into the near post. Hughie Douglas comes across for it, gets his head to it, but it's been blocked out for another corner. And Drogheda United will be very happy to keep the ball down this end of the field with 3.5 minutes to go. And Tim Clancy reminding the fourth official that there was only 1 minute played in the end of the first half, but there were more stoppages in this half certainly than in the first. But I suppose wishful thinking from Tim Clancy. They're hoping that there's only 1 minute added on. Hughie Douglas again gets his head to this one, but not able to direct it onto the goal. And it's gone out for goal kick to UCD. So we are ticking down. And Drogheda will be a really morale boosting win, not just to get the 2-1 win, but to come from behind and to put that fairly disappointing first half performance behind them. It would be really important stuff for them, and it would certainly give them a spring in their step as they go into the last few games of the season. They're not home yet though. Here's Kerrigan. He gets a shot away. It's blocked by Mark Hughes. And here's Stephen Meany charging clear down that right hand side. He's got such pace, Meany, and fresh legs of course. He's not on the field that long, almost scored with his first touch. And he wins a free kick over in the corner. Again, brilliant bit of play from him. And the contribution of Meany and Brandon Birmingham in this second half has been really important. And Tim Clancy asking the linesman how much is going to be added on. And neither of them are giving much away at the moment. And it's going to be 3 minutes added on. Tim Clancy puts his hands to his head in slightly jocular fashion. I'm sure he would have been expecting around that sort of time to be added on. We've got 44.5 minutes gone. Drogheda United lead by 2-1. Again, a reminder, they trailed by 1-0 at half time. 2 goals early in the second half from Mark Doyle have put them in the driving seat here at the UCD Bowl. Darkness all around us now, just the floodlights illuminating the pitch, and certainly Mark Doyle's goals have lit up tonight's game from Drogheda's point of view, and he's looking for, well, he was almost in behind there from a little slip through pass from Richie O'Farrell, but not able to get on the end of it and get in for his hat-trick. Now here come UCD. I just do always worry that a little lapse in concentration from Drogheda at the back could prove disastrous. But let's hope they can hold on here. Long ball from the keeper, and it's headed clear by Mark Hughes, and here's Mark Doyle. Oh, brilliant bit of stuff from him. Knocks it through the legs of Evan Farrell and sets Birmingham away. Can he get away from his man? No, but it's broken back here for Ryan O'Shea. He finds Birmingham again. Lovely little back heel, back to O'Shea. Gets inside the box, cuts it back to Doyle. Is this his hat-trick opportunity? No, well, he's been crowded out of it, in fairness. And that's a perfect outcome from Drogheda's point of view. It was Adam Verdon with a very loose challenge. It was a bit of a swipe at Ryan O'Shea. He's on the ground now. And the referee again is going to take no action, it seems. And again, Tim Clancy is very angry that there was no card. And he's okay, O'Shea, but And it's, from a Drogheda perspective, they have the free kick on the edge of the box, but I think again, he's Tim Clancy a little bit unhappy with the referee not awarding having a yellow card there. But in any case, Brandon Birmingham's going to keep it in the corner, and he's back to Jake Hyland. And Hyland, well, he looked like he charged into his man there maybe, but UCD momentarily get it back and then lose it and then get it back again. Now here's Maddie, the man who missed that penalty a little while ago, and here comes Kerrigan, and surely now it's the last chance for UCD. And Douglas, well, there's been a free kick given. A free kick to UCD, and again, nervous moments. We have 47 minutes gone in the second half, so 2 of the 3, and again, Drogheda United, they just have a nasty habit of making things difficult for themselves. It's going to be Jack Keeney, the captain.
Listen to David!
And Tim Clancy is telling Mark Doyle to listen to his keeper. And he's got a 3-man wall in front of him. And now Doyle joins it to make it a 4-man wall. Keeney looks like he's going to have a go here. It's going to be a really nervous finish to the game for Drogheda United. If they can see this one out, they'll surely have all 3 points, and this will be a really sickening way to cough up 2 points in the row. But no, Keeney's gone to the back post. It's headed back across, and it's Huey Douglas again, gets his head to it. Brilliant stuff from Douglas there. Throws himself at it, gets the ball clear, and well, they still have a little bit of work to do, Drogheda, but we're into the 4th minute of added time now. And the referee's looked at his watch. I suspect this will be UCD's last throw of the dice, and it's an actual throw in for them. They've thrown it in towards the box, and it's Douglas gets up again, heads it up in the air. Mark Doyle gets his head onto it, and the referee's given a free kick, and that should be that from Drogheda's point of view. They look like they've survived that little bit of a storm, and they look like they are good to come away with all 3 points here tonight. Didn't look too good from at half time, trailed by a goal to 0. But a much better start to the second half, and a much better second half in general, has seen them turn this one around. 2 goals from Mark Doyle. Looks like it has given Drogheda United all 3 points here tonight at a crucial stage of the season. And could they be in for a third? Well, it was Stephen Meany again. He's had a couple of chances tonight. Brandon Birmingham gets away. He gets a shot away, and there it is. That's it. 3 points in the bag for Drogheda United. Brandon Birmingham with the goal. And that is it. Game, set, and match for Drogheda United here at the UCD Bowl. 2 goals from Mark Doyle, and the third one from Brandon Birmingham. The icing on the cake here, or even the cherry on top of the icing on the cake. And that is it. 3 points in the bag to take back down the M1 for Drogheda United, and it will keep them in second place in the table. Bray Wanderers leading by 3 goals to 0, so they're home and hosed. Drogheda United, with a really impressive second half performance here, have turned things around, and with that goes the final whistle. A huge win for Drogheda United and for Tim Clancy here at the UCD Bowl. They'll be delighted with that one. As Andy Myler comes over, Drogheda United legend of course, comes over, and now customary forearm bump or elbow bump between the players and management. So it's ended here in a 3-1 win for Drogheda United, trailed by a goal to 0 at half time, but they turned it around in spectacular fashion in the second half. 2 goals from Mark Doyle, and then that right at the end, 3rd goal from Brandon Birmingham. And the substitutes again tonight with a really important contribution. Brandon Birmingham and Stephen Meany really busy when they come on, won some really important free kicks over the course of that second half, and Tim Clancy and Kevin Doherty will be absolutely thrilled with that performance and with that win. Just to recap on the other results, it's almost all over in all the other games. It's Athlone Town leading Cove Ramblers by 2 goals to 1. Bray Wanderers 3-0 up against Longford, 1-0 to Galway against Wexford, and Cabinteely have, well, they look like it's almost all over in that one as well. They're leading by 2 goals to 0 against Jamrock Rovers too. So all the teams really in the mix for promotion. Cabinteely, Bray and Drogheda United winning tonight. Longford Town, maybe the one exception, losing to Bray Wanderers, but certainly still plenty to play for in this first division. It's going to go right down to the wire, as we said a little bit earlier on, but tonight at least it's a very positive outcome for Drogheda United. Shamrock Rovers too up next for them next week, but they can be very happy with their night's work here, particularly that second half. They've come away from UCD with a 3-1 win, goals from Mark Doyle, early in the second half, and then that third one from Brandon Birmingham right at the end with almost the last kick of the game, giving them a 3-1 win on all 3 points. We'll have reaction to this game and this win tomorrow on LMFM Saturday Sport. But from myself, David Sheehan, from the UCD Bowl, thanks very much for joining us, and we'll speak to you again next time Drogheda are in action with us, of course, next week. Have yourselves a very good weekend.
Briscoe's Megastore Drogheda.